Good evening, everyone. It's Aston Villa versus Arsenal. It's Unai Emery versus Mikel Arteta at Villa Park. It's a massive, massive clash at the top of the table. Arsenal first, Villa sit third at the moment, and we owe them one. I'm still feeling the sting. From 2 seasons ago when Villa rocked up to the Emirates and beat us 2-0. And I still remember that day because you can go back on this channel and look at the match reaction. I said it was over. I knew it was over, and I still have a little bit of something right here for Emery and Aston Villa. You know what I'm saying? But welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers. It's a preview. We haven't done one of these yet so far. Not officially, at least, but we're going to do one for Aston Villa and Arsenal. It's a big game, and I am very, very, very excited to get into this one. But first, of course, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Of course, thanks for being here. Hype it up. Share it with your friends. Notification bell, all that stuff. And, of course, I want to know what you're thinking in the comments section below. Now, my lens for this preview is absolutely going to be, hey, man, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. My preview here on this one is absolutely going to be looking at the fact that I'm not a big Unai Emery fan. Of course, he lasted only 18 months at Arsenal, and it was it's a bit of an up and down, really. I was not his biggest fan. And then, of course, he's been haunting us ever since. Knocked us out of the Europa League with Villarreal, of course. And that 2-0 at the Emirates is just... it still gets to me, still haunts my dreams sometimes. But actually, Arteta has only beaten Emery one time since he's taken over, and we hope to absolutely improve on that one coming up tomorrow. I believe it's the lunchtime kickoff. And it was Ollie Watkins that day, and Ollie Watkins in their last game, I think he got a couple of goals versus Brighton, was able to lead the charge. And so he's definitely the one we're looking at, definitely the player who we're going to be concentrating on as far as their counterattacking option. I do expect, as Emery does, to set up in that mid block, very compact in the center of the field. And it's going to be very, very important to see who starts in the center back position. At the time of this recording, nothing new has come out as far as Saliba and if he's going to be available. I'm getting the feeling that he's not. And therefore, I'm thinking, since we put Jurriën Timber in there in the center, and he did a fantastic job after Mosquera went down last time out, that is what I expect to see. So it's looking like it's going to be Calafiori because Arteta seemingly wants to keep that going there. I absolutely believe that Saka needs to step up. I've been thinking that the armband is kind of weighing on him, and so he hasn't necessarily been at his best. But Martin Odegaard will definitely start this game. We'll definitely have the armband, and hopefully that can free up Saka a bit to... and maybe since we're going to see Ben White as well, since what I expect on the right-hand side is our classic White, Odegaard, Saka trio on the right-hand side, because that's what I'm thinking since Jurriën Timber is probably going to be in that center back. I'm thinking that the Odegaard, Saka, Ben White combo from 2-3 seasons ago is going to be reinstalled, and hopefully, even though we've only got to see it a little bit, it can cook like it did in the last game. I do think Benny White was a little bit rusty, but he was getting down the line like we've seen time and time again. Now, it was a different... well, he says, actually, if you listen to that post-match interview, he actually said playing with Madueke is almost no different than playing with Saka. Well, I might have my disagreements with him on that one, but I do think that this is a big chance for Saka to step up. Like I say, he's not going to have the pressure of the armband in this game, and I think the interesting thing, though, because we know Aston Villa are going to double up on Saka, unlike Brentford did. I noticed that everyone was saying, yeah, Madueke had Derrick Henry, I think was Brentford's left back. We had him on toast, but you know, it was because they didn't double team him. I was shocked. Maybe it was just maybe it was a straight up lack of respect. And they're like, oh, that's not Saka. That's Nani Madueke. So we're not going to double team him. And he was cooking. That will not be the case. You know, John McGinn's going to work back. You know, Tielemans will be over there to help out. Pretty sure it's going to be Luca Dean. I'm not sure if he's available. I think he is. So that's probably who will be over on the left. And they will double on Saka for sure. It's going to be up to Martin Odegaard. 100% going to be up to Martin Odegaard to work it out and to be able to play those balls in between the lines and get Saka in behind, because that's something that we've clearly worked on. You've seen some of these these looped passes over the back line to try to get the wingers, both Nelly and Saka, in behind their defenders for the cutback. But speaking of, I actually hope it's Eze on the left and not Martinelli. I'm thinking it's going to be Eze and Saka. We'll get back to who's starting up front in a second. Definitely going to be Rice, Zubi, and Odegaard in the middle. Calafiori on the left. Probably Hincapié, Timber, Ben White. And then it's going to be, for me, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. I think we need to be able to stretch their team, especially, I think we need to have them, even when they're in counterattack, to have an eye on the fact that we still have a threat up top. And for these reasons, even though it pains me to bench Merino after such an incredible run he's having, I would still go with Gyökeres in this game. He provides that outlet. I think even though, Merino is great in the air, I think Gyökeres kind of battles with the defenders a bit more and, puts his body around and wins the aerial duels. I think the second balls, I'm always going on about winning the second balls. It's definitely going to be a huge factor in this game. I know we're going to try to press. There's going to be, in the beginning, I expect them to have a whole bunch of energy. They're absolutely flying. They got 5 straight wins. They've conceded 1 goal in the last 3 games at home. They absolutely smashed Bournemouth 4-0 at home. And their last one actually was Wolverhampton after that one, but still, they're going to be raring to go. It's not going to be like the Brighton game. They know this, so they're probably not going to press as high as they did against Brighton, because we're far superior than Brighton at playing out from the back. But winning those second balls in the midfield is going to be very important to keeping up the pressure and being able to slowly but surely lean on them and finally topple them over. I'm hoping for a nice, comfortable 1-2-0. I very, very highly doubt that it's going to be so. If we don't control the midfield, it's going to be more like the Chelsea game, and it's going to be back and forth, maybe like that 4-2 with Jorginho blast and the Nelly running like this before he's actually scored the goal. So that would suit Villa a lot more than it would suit us, I think. I still think that we have a really strong chance of winning this one. I personally really, really, really want to beat Unai Emery. It's not something that we do very often, and especially since Emery's taken over, and we know how he sets up. He's going to try to keep us wide and then double team the wingers, and so that he can counterattack quickly with Ollie Watkins. But there is a kind of a psychological thing in here. We don't really scare Villa anymore. Emery's going to tell him, look, we know this team. We know how they play. I know this team. I know how they play. So he's definitely going to have something for us. So this is going to be a hotly contested match. John McGinn, I'm always worried about him, always worried where he can step up. I expect to see Yuri Tielemans. Onana's back. Kamara's playing really, really good. So they're definitely going to pack the midfield and be very tight and tough to pass through in the middle. Like I say, yeah, Saliba's out. I'm thinking he's not going to be in. Trossard even is uncertain. It's going to be interesting to see the lineup. But I really am hoping that Victor Gyökeres starts in this game. I think he can make the difference. I know that, in my opinion, we've bought him to win the Champions League, but this is a game that I think he can definitely help us out. If you look at the games he was in, the way we were stretching Burnley was fantastic. I think we need to do similar sorts of things here against Villa. And if we can get in behind their, John McGinn, get in behind Tielemans and Cameron Onana and get running at their defense, we definitely can devastate them. It's going to be about getting the ball in behind Luka Dean. And who's playing right back for them these days? It's not Matson, is it? Maybe. Anyways, we need to be able to get in behind them and on the wings and not – we're going to have to figure out how to beat their double teams. That's what it is. It's going to be figured out how to beat the double team on the left and the right. And I'm hoping Eze is going to be instrumental in that as well. So defensively – whoever is up against, it's going to be Hincapié and Timber up against Watkins. I think I like the speed. I like Timber's speed versus Watkins, so that's going to be good. Declan Rice is going to have a huge, huge game in front of the two defenders. We spoke last time. I think it was in the review of the Brentford game about how Aston Villa. About how Rice was kind of worried about the players behind him, and so he may be a little bit deeper. And I think that he's going to have to be really, really big in this game for us to get a win. It's going to be absolutely so tough to win, but I am looking forward to it. I am going to be definitely hyped for it, and I am calling for an Arsenal 2-0 win. It's probably going to be similar to the Brentford game where we struggle through, defend a 1-goal lead, and then get him again in the end. I'm certainly hoping to finally get one over on Emery. We owe Villa, we owe Emery, and most of all, we owe ourselves to be able to put another notch in the belt of something that, in seasons gone past, we weren't necessarily able to do, but we've been checking all those boxes this season. For example, we did not win the home game against Brentford last season, and we have done that now. And here we are. We have another opportunity to right some wrongs and to improve this season's title challenge. I am 100% looking forward to it. Love playing the 12:30 kickoffs so that we can put our feet up and be happy with our 3 points and watch the rest of the week in. All right. Like I say, my prediction 2-0 to the Gunners. Hopefully we can pull that off. It's been another match preview here. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, of course. Again, like I say, thanks for being here. Hype it up. Get the notification bells on. All that good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Come on, you Gunners. And you will see me next time.